Hi there. My name is Kelly Vargo. For those of you who do not know me, I am currently a practicum advisor for the MPH IGW program. I'm here to pump you up about your practicum experience. No, but seriously, I went to the School of Public Health as a student. I completed my MPH. I had to find a practicum, and back when I did it, I had no idea what I was doing. So if you're feeling that, don't worry, we've got your back. And seriously, I'm here to get you excited about your practicum experience. So first things first, before you even start thinking about it, I need you to clear your head. I need you to even consider finding that ILDP you did and pulling it up. The idea with the practicum is to get hands-on experience in the field of public health. Of course, you have an MPH or you're about to have an MPH, but guess what? There are a lot of people out there that have it, which is great. However, what we've done in a classroom, we've also learned doesn't always translate into the field. So this is your opportunity to find out what is it that you could do or you would want to do with this degree. What is it that you've been working so hard for, spending so much time, money, and energy working towards? So don't see the practicum as an obstacle, but rather an opportunity. And as my father always says, the best time to look for a job is when you have one. And you all have one right now. Your job is being a student. So let's use this practicum experience as an opportunity to find that dream job right now. Okay, so now what? I just gave you this, woo, go get your dream job. How do we do it? It's easy and challenging, right? Easy in the fact that the way we've set this up is to make it as seamless as possible so that you feel excited, engaged, and empowered about this entire experience. There's no need for it to seem complicated or complex. We've got plenty of things around us that are. Besides, you have to worry about DegreeMap and GWeb in your learning management system. Are we on Zoom or Blackboard Collaborate? We're trying to make this process simple so that all you get to do is focus on yourself, where you want to get this experience, so that hopefully it's going to be that bridge into your next step in your career. So to get started, first things first, grab that ILDP as I mentioned to remind yourself why you're here. Take a look back at what you wrote, where you could see yourself in the field in a couple years from now. Now, this first part, you are going to have to tap into that creative side of your brain, because it is about taking the time to sit down and just think about, where do you see yourself practicing public health? Is it in policy? Is it creating communications campaigns and educating people? Is it working behind the scenes and analyzing the data of this, for example, recent pandemic? Where do you see yourself and where does your passion come in? What lights you up and gets you excited? Seriously, I need you to start brainstorming. So we've created a brainstorming worksheet. So at the very beginning, before we even start thinking about lining things up, to just sit down and write 8 to 10 organizations, startups, nonprofits, government agencies, you name it. The sky is the limit. Public health literally is everywhere. So start thinking about that and writing it down, just as if you were starting to look to apply for jobs. One thing to keep in mind with the practicum, it's an opportunity to create an opportunity. You don't just need to apply to internships that have already pre-existed. Rather, you can pick up a phone and call someone and say, hey, I'm finishing up my MPH. I have to get some hands-on experience. I really like what your company is doing. I would love to come help you. It's as simple as that. In Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek, he says, if you want to do something or you want to be somewhere, you pick up the phone and you call the CEO. So I'm encouraging you and I'm challenging you to have that mindset when it comes to finding your practicum. You have nothing to lose. You have your job being a student. So go out there and make this next opportunity one that really is fulfilling for you during this time. So step one, start brainstorming and writing down those places. Spend some time researching their organization. Find out who you should talk to. If it's a smaller company, go to the top. If it's maybe a larger organization or government entity, do they have a community outreach person? Do they have an internship coordinator? Find out who's someone that you can actually physically engage with, either by the phone, through an email, and when we get back to reality, maybe even stopping by and introducing yourself. LinkedIn is another great place to connect with people. We have a huge GW alumni network. I really encourage you to take advantage of that. You're part of this family now. So reach out, get to know your peers. As Dr. Bilge once said to us in our leadership course when I was a student, Your net worth is your network. This is your time to connect. Again, being in public health is about serving other people. We're people. So use that and do that now to help you get a great practicum experience. So start brainstorming. And after you start brainstorming, check in with your practicum advisor so you can discuss where that next step is, who's the places that we can start reaching out to and start putting this stuff into place. So now that you've brainstormed, we're going to go into step 2, developing your plan and then getting registered for the practicum. So your practicum plan is basically your scope of work or your job description. You'll work in conjunction with your preceptor to fill this document out, which eventually will be uploaded into our practicum management system, Exxat. When you fill out your practicum plan, you are going to be tying in program competencies as well as MPH competencies to link to whatever work products and tasks you're going to be doing. You'll actually need to use 3 MPH core competencies, basically competencies you've learned from your core classes, and then 2 program-specific competencies that are from your program, your area of interest, and apply those to your plan. You'll work with that with your preceptor, and you'll come up with 2 work products that you will show at the end of your practicum that you've exemplified those competencies in the workplace. So this next phase is spending time with your preceptor to develop that. That's step 2. So step 1, brainstorm. Step 2, now that you've reached out, you've done your outreach, now you're getting that practicum plan in place and getting ready to get going. So after your practicum plan has been reviewed by your practicum advisor, then you're going to get started in our practicum management system, Exxat. When you log into Exxat, you'll use your GW Net ID and password. The first step is just entering in your preceptor's information. So you'll want to make sure that you have either their LinkedIn profile or a resume to put into Exxat. This is to ensure that this preceptor has enough experience to serve as a good mentor. We want you guys out there and getting great experience, but it's also a learning opportunity. So we just want to make sure that you're going to be overseen by someone that can give you great feedback, can correct you when it's needed, can also be sort of a mentor to you. So once you do that, then your practicum advisor will approve your preceptor. If they have any questions, they'll come back to you first and you'll clear that up. Then you've sent to your practicum plan and that template to them for review. They'll let you know, hey, this looks okay, go ahead and put it in Exxat. So you upload your practicum plan in Exxat. Exxat will send an email to your preceptor, they'll review it, make sure it looks good, and then they'll send it over, they'll click approve, and it'll come back to our team to have your practicum director approve. Now, if there's any sort of sensitive data that you might be working with, or you're included in IRB elsewhere, there'll be an additional step which they'll walk you through to go through our oversight process. But if your practicum does not include that, your practicum director will approve your plan in Exxat and publish your site, which at point, the timesheets become available in Exxat so you can start logging your hours. So now you're ready to go and start your practicum. When you're doing your practicum, you want to make sure that you're logging your hours at least weekly. And then once you hit 60 hours, you'll stop doing practicum activities and complete a midpoint evaluation. After your preceptor and your practicum director have approved your midpoint evaluation, you'll be permitted to complete the rest of your remaining practicum hours. Once you hit 160, both you and your preceptor will submit final evaluations, and then you'll also upload your work products into the respective deliverable folder, typically hosted on GW Box. And then that's it. You're good to go. You did your practicum. So it should be fun. It should be exciting. It's a great opportunity to learn and connect. See this experience as an opportunity, not an obstacle. Take a deep breath. We'll get you through all of this. Okay. So now I'm going to walk you through using the GWSPH source. So that way you can find all of the relevant practicum information to get you started, from the brainstorming phase to getting your practicum plan together to getting into Exxat, the practicum management system. So here's the GWSPH source. The GWSPH source is the school's intranet, internal, right? So you have to have, we're gonna, hello?